Hello and welcome to Match Fishing TV. Well, we're getting towards the back end of the season and quite a few leagues are coming to their conclusion. I'm joined in the studio to discuss them by Tom Scholey.
Hello.
And Joe Carass.
Good evening.
Okay lads, I know where you've been at the weekend, Lindow Natural Baits League.
Yes, it was the final round, and to be honest, it's been a brilliant league. Obviously, I'm slightly biased because myself, Lee Kerry and Matt Godfrey run it, but it has all the way through been really, really close. And the fact that we're playing 9 overall out of a field of 40, has meant that nearly everybody, or certainly half the field anyway, were going into the last round with a chance of picking up some serious money. As it turned out, it's fished really well. A bit of mild weather has certainly helped us, and all the way around the lake, really, there were bites to be had. Very few people caught less than £8 or £9, which is great winter fishing, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Especially considering that obviously carp don't count on this one. Leading the way from peg 70 was Jim Hall. He had 36.15. He caught on maggots. Second place was Ryan Lidgard. He had 36.4 from peg 83.
Oh, close then.
It was close. And then in third place was our mate Matt Godfrey. He had 32.11 from peg 50.
See, that's why he's left. He doesn't actually need a job, does he?
No, that's it.
I'll just nip down there. It's like going to the cash point for Matt now.
That goes to the ATM, isn't it?
It is. Well, even more so when you hear what happened next. So it was third on the match, and then it came down to the final league placings. Now, Craig Butterfield were leading the race for much of this. He had a great run of form, but because you drop a result, there were a few anglers who had some bigger scores. Who were further
and you
down.
mentioned this last week that he could be leapfrogged by.
Yeah, and unfortunately he had a tough match. It was second to last in his section, Craig, and that was obviously his drop result.
Yeah.
But he was leapfrogged by the winner, who was James Dent. He's finished on 8 points. He's picked up £1,000 for that, so nice win for him.
Nice work if you can get it.
Nice late surge, wasn't it?
Not that he needs the money, by the way, does he?
No.
He's done well. Second was Matt Godfrey. He had 10 points again. A section win on the last round's helped him. He's picked up £750.
He's never been so well off.
He's not, has it?
Like you say though, Matt was nowhere, was he? And then all of a sudden, bang, second. And it just shows, doesn't it, that format's kept it interesting right till the end.
Oh, he dropped 7 points, you see, Matt. So it really did help push him up.
Yeah.
And then third, I'm only a little bit bitter about this because it was a three-way tie for third. It was between myself, Sean Cameron and Craig Butterfield.
All on 11. On
11 points, that is. And the way we agreed it would work was your dropped result would come back in, and me and Sean both dropping a 4. And then weight, and he beat me on weight by £3, I think it was. So a little bit gutted, but big well done to Sean. Sean picked up £650 for that. I got £550 for fourth, and Craig Butterfield, as a nice consolation price for his 5th place, he got £450. So.
400 plus quid's not a bad consolation.
All right, you're saying that 9th place got £150?
Yeah.
So what a brilliant payout that is.
Yeah, it's been a great league, and it's all booked for next year. So if you want to book on, you'll get in touch with Lee Kerry, myself or Matt.
It's a great format. And you were saying earlier on that you pay £30 pools on the day, but £10 of that goes into the final pot, which is hence the great payout. Yeah,
that's what happens. It just builds up, and then Neil Grantham at Lindown deserves a thank you. He did us a favour. He gave us the pegging a bit cheaper, so that helped. But really good match.
Excellent. So well done all. Well done Denty, and well done Jim on the final round win. Okay, the Tunnel Winter League.
Yeah, I mean Saturday, like you mentioned, the weather on Saturday was really nice, and it felt like a spring day, didn't it?
It did.
So
It was beautiful. When you're in that sun, if you can get out the little bit of wind.
Yeah, it was. Our lake was like a mill pond, and it was bright sunshine. And it was just lovely to be out. And the fishing responded.
My wife thinks I'm balmy, but I said this on Saturday morning. When the sun comes out like that, you can smell the spring.
You can. I know exactly what you mean.
And to me, it was just one of those mornings where it was, this is nice.
Birds are singing. Yeah. And the fishing just seemed to wake up at Tunnel Barn. I mean, Luke Capel had £85, which included 5 fish for £50, which is unheard of at Tunnel, really.
Yeah.
But there's just weights all over. I mean, he won it with £85. Second was Andy Neal, he had £76 on extension. Nathan Matthews was third with £72 of house 6. It's just a great Match. You fish everywhere to be caught. I mean, I caught £35 and I was second on my lake. I thought, I'll win some money today. No.
Nothing.
But in the team front, Banbury Gunsmiths, who were a team who've won this league so many times but have had a bit of a tough run of late. They won it on the day with 93 points, which was good to see them sort of steaming back into it. The ever consistent Matt Batesek was second with 86 points, and then Rugeley Miners were third with 84 points. That means that Matt Batesek now have a 30-point lead with 1 round to go, so I can't see him.
No, they're not going to drop 30 points.
I can't see it happening.
Not unless they forget where it is.
No, I mean, Guru had another tough week, we had a tough week, Shakespeare had a tough week, so I think it's theirs
There's to throw away.
There's to throw away, yeah.
Oh, can happen though, can't it?
Well, someone could not fish, I suppose.
Okay, and the Makins Guru Pole Only League.
Yeah, another really popular league. And Richard Kelly actually won this on Sunday. He was on Lizard Pull, peg 19. He caught £36.8, and he caught carp on maggots. So even though it's not a natural baits league, that one, I don't think, is it? Just goes to show that maggots and corn and things seem to be working well, don't they, at the moment?
Certainly do.
Second place was Mark Griffiths. He had 12 carp. So he had 3 carp from peg 12, not 12 carp from peg 3. 3 carp from peg 12, and he caught on corn at 16 metres. In the league stakes, our mate Wayne Sharman from Lanes, he's hanging out in front there. He's got 6 points. Second place is Lee Farmer, Mushy, with 8 points. And there's a 3-way tie for third with Chris Folkes, Mick Wheatley and Shane Desmond all on 11 points.
So that's still close.
Oh, a good tight league.
Yeah, good to go. Okay, now, just changing the subject before we go to the break. We mentioned last week, obviously, that you're leaving. You've fed up of working. So
It's not for business, is it?
now, and what that's done is that's my decision primarily. We're changing the number of events that Match Fishing Magazine are going to be directly involved in running. We've sent out an email to all concerned, but just to clarify where we are, the Match Fishing Knockout Cup, you are now going to be running it.
No.
Sorry,
No.
the Daiwa Pole Fishing Masters, you are now going to be running it. We're refunding everybody that's entered to that, and they need to re-enter with you.
That's right.
Everybody has been emailed.
Yes, and I've got a list of the email addresses of the people who have entered, and everybody will get a separate email from me when the payment portal's open. So
The Match Fishing Knockout Cup is finished. That's not happening this year. And apologies to anybody. Obviously, it was going to be a great format because it was allowing other people to get involved with the big guns, but we just don't have the manpower to run it. And I think it's fair to say that one of the reasons that we had so many events on the calendar was that yourself and Matt were running events is part and parcel of what you like doing.
definitely.
So without that volunteer force, even though a lot of it takes place during working hours, Garbalino Club Angler Year goes ahead as normal, and the Subscriber Classic will be going ahead as normal. So
It's worth saying the Club Angler tickets are on sale, aren't they?
they are, yeah,
so-
and they're still being sold now.
Yeah.
So that's just to clarify. As I say, anybody that's entered either the Match Fishing Knockout Cup or the Daiwa Pole Fishing Masters will have had an email by now. If you've not had an email, drop me a line through the shop site, because what it will mean, we did have a couple of bounce backs where people's email addresses weren't recognised, so we can clarify that and get your refund to you. Okay, and on that note, we shall go into a short break. See you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back. Right then lads, straight into the action. Joe, the Larford Lakes Classic qualifier.
Now this one really caught our eye this morning when we was going through the results, didn't it? I mean, obviously the fishing's been a bit better up and down the country this weekend, hasn't it? But this match in particular, I mean, Grant Albert...
I think we should do this in reverse order. This is such a spectacular way. I think we should...
I mean, in third place, this is at Larford Lakes. In third place was Chris Jones with £32.9.
Chris fishes your friends in there.
Yeah, nice little winter weight there. Jamie Harrison, who does very well at Larford, second with £45.4. And just creeping ahead was Mr. Grant Albert with a colossal £226 1 ounce on peg 78 on the special.
You should have stopped fishing, really, shouldn't they? I mean, Grant, come on. That's cruel.
I mean-
it's cruel to the other competitors.
What's really interesting about this is obviously carp, we all know, shoal up tightly in the winter, as is seen here. But where he's caught them is not what you'd associate with a February day. He's ended up catching them down the edge. And he says you could see him bow waving about and all sorts. So God knows what's happened there.
They must have known it was Grant, because they all want to be caught by Grant.
That's it.
£226 1 ounce.
I mean, I've seen his net of fish and they're all great big things. I think he's had 20 fish for that weight. So, I mean, what a day's fishing that is in
Brilliant
February,
day.
isn't it?
Awesome, isn't it?
Just caught simply out over a bit of ground bait with some micros and corn, just dead simple, and just caught a load.
Now that is a stunning result, but everybody else has got to be driving home just muttering under their breath. I mean, I bet his ears were burning.
Very fair match that.
Well done, Grant. That is a spectacular performance. Okay, Partridge Lakes again, individual.
Yeah, sounded like a good match again, quite fair in terms of the weight spread out. Paul Barmforth won this one. He was on ribbon peg 4, he had £64. Francis O'Reilly was second with 52.7 from peg 145 on Covey 6. And Mickey Rogerson had £49.11 from Spey peg 4. Now, I've got to mention, otherwise I'll get big blank for the rest of the day. You know Jake Fowles will sometimes say
never know Jake.
He won his lake on this one.
Get
Well
in,
done,
Jake. So the cream cakes are on Jake at lunchtime.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he won his lake. But from what he tells me, most of the fish at Partridge at the moment are being caught dobbing with bread. And there's some late fish to be caught on maggots for some competitors, but it is dobbing that's really dominating it. And I know Paul caught dobbing in 3 foot of water apparently, obviously won the match there. In terms of the league, the two-way tie at the top at the moment. Gareth Gibbons being one of them, and Francis O'Reilly being the other. So a close call for the league as well.
Okay, and let's just remind everybody that Jake won his lake.
He won his lake.
Well done, Jake. And well done, Paul Barmforth. Now, I keep talking about the fish soup, which is the Fens, and the headlines on the Hayjack Winter League are pretty good again.
Yeah, this was on Factory Bank, Benwick and Rayleigh Drain, and as we all know, the Winter League final's coming up, so everyone's keenly practicing and whatnot. But this one was a bit tougher than what the weights we've been seeing recently. Haven't we? Been £20 plus, but this one's a little bit tougher. Steve Hemingway showed his class as ever with £12.12 to win the match on peg 1 on Factory Bank. He caught a lot of them on whip and squats and pinkies.
Yeah.
In second place was John Taylor, who keeps doing consistently well, I notice, with £12 off Raveley Drain. And then in third place was Rob Hewison, who said he had a spawny tench, but I'm sure he fished for it, and a load of roach for £11 at Benwick. So a bit nice spread out frame there.
So the top 3 have come off the 3 different venues,
Yeah.
but I mean it's not been great for everybody, has it? And I saw a wonderful post on Facebook that Cam Hughes put on there. He'd drawn the other end of Factory Bank. I think he'd had something like 6 tiny perch, 1 tight across, 5 down the middle, the third in his section, first and second in his section went the other end and had sort of double figures almost. And then, was it Lee Carey that sent in who sent in the
Sean
picture?
Ashby it was.
Sean Ashby has sent him a photograph, and we'll have to show this because we have a photograph with the Samaritans phone number on. It just underlines that things, at this time of year do get peggy everywhere.
Absolutely.
It's just amazing, isn't it? I mean, that Factory Bank, it's such a narrow venue, isn't it? And then first few pegs have obviously got a load of roach in them, but it is ounces at the other end, isn't
on
it?
Cam's post, I mean, he couldn't believe his eyes when he got to his peg. I mean, you literally...
It's a ditch, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it is. It is a ditch, and I would imagine that 1 or 2 Olympians could leap over it.
Yeah.
I don't know about Olympians, I reckon I could.
I want to watch. We shall have an outside broadcast. When it gets really cold, we'll have an outside broadcast and get footage of Joe leaping Factory
Can it be a
Bank.
bit warmer?
That's spoiling it. So well done to Walker, well done Steve. Okay, and let's have a quick chat about Match Aid. There's obviously there's loads of events planned for Match Aid for this year. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, basically it's an organisation set up primarily to run matches for young people, though some of the matches do take in adults as well. Most notable event in their calendar is the 3-day festival that we've run at Partridge, and that's on the 2nd, 3rd and 4th of August this year. I know that's always generously supported by Preston Innovations, and they always get a few of their sponsored anglers up there. So if you're a young angler, if you're wanting to find out what's on in your area, because they do have matches all over the country, just be sure to check out the Match Aid website, and that's www.matchaid.org.uk.
Okay, it's definitely worth it, and that festival that you talk about at Partridge Lakes, it's always good turnout for that, isn't it?
Yeah, always 40 plus youngsters on that every year. So.
So they put loads of effort in, don't they, the Match Aid guys? And I think they've got some backing by Maven now as well, which helps a lot of the kids out as well. So that's really good to see that Maven are getting behind that as well.
Definitely. So, thumbs up for Match Aid. Get onto their website and check it out. All your juniors get on their fixtures, and that's about us done for a week, I think. We shall be back in 7 days' time. See you then.